Hello ladies, today I'm going to show you how to make one of these little tag books. This one that I made to put in some pictures of Paris, but there are lots of other ways that you could fill it. I've covered it in a Paris type material, thank you Leslie, and I'm just waiting for the corners to come. I ordered some corners to reinforce, but they haven't arrived yet. But I wanted to get on and show you the video, so I'm progressing. So here's a picture of the Eiffel Tower, which obviously you recognise, and inside are all the different tags in their little envelopes. And this one of course is the Mona Lisa, and you can do what you like with that. You can obviously add things to it, words or pockets or more pictures, but I'm not going to talk about that today. I'm just going to say that it's got lots of little envelopes and you can fill them up, so you can put obviously what you want in. I thought it would be a very good idea to put stamps in it. I have lots of different types of stamps, some for local, some for Europe, some for worldwide, and all different values as well, depending on the weight of what you're sending. So you could label the little envelopes and put different stamps in there. Another use would be all your little bits and pieces, your little scraps that you keep putting in other places, like different little polythene bags that you can never find, paper bags, envelopes that you can never find. You could put them all in something like this and label them, and then you would know where they were because they were all in one place. So like we did with the Treasure Island journal, we had all those little flashcards. You could put those in with words on different topics and subjects. So this one I've done for Paris, and I've done the same for the one I'm going to show you how to make. So there we are. So to start off with, you need 2 pieces of cardboard, and I've just used a box that something came in, so you can see I just thought that was just the right size. And the first thing we're going to do is cover it with cloth. So here's my piece of cloth. It's a fat quarter of cotton, and I've ironed it. Does your eyes in a bit, doesn't it? Let's come out a bit. That might be better. I've ironed it to make it flat, and so now I'm going to position the cardboard on it. I want about 1 inch all the way round. So let's position it so, and a little bit in the middle, a little gap in the middle to allow for the concertina. That should be about right. I'm not sure if these spots are helping me or not really. Anyway, then get my sharp scissors, which I only ever use for cloth. Tempting though it is sometimes to use it for paper. And I'm going to cut around. Turn it round. turn it over. So now I'm going to put those on, see if I've done it right. That looks quite close. Right, and now I'm going to just cut the corners so that I can make it fit nicely. And I'll show you this one. You don't want to go in too far. Just round it off a little bit. When I do anything like this, I usually do one of them wrong. I don't know why that is really, but it seems to be Murphy's Law. I think those will be all right. A bit of wriggle room. And now I'm going to get the glue. I've got a new bottle of glue. This is what I use, fabritac, and it's a new bottle. Now I've already taken the little silver piece out. There's always a little silver piece in there, and if you leave that in, you'll never get the glue out in a million years. So always remember, the new one, undo it. If you haven't used it before, take the little silver bit out first. And always put the top on in between workings, otherwise it dries up. Try very hard to avoid getting it on your nail varnish, because it's got acetone in it and it will strip the nail varnish off. That's very important for us ladies. Do this side now. Remember to leave your little gap down the middle. Okay, and now the two, top and bottom. I didn't have any material that was particularly Parisian this time, but it doesn't really matter. It could be anything, whatever theme you're working on at the time, or if you've got anything particular in mind. there we are, that's the cover. Don't have to worry too much about the corners because you are going to put a cover on those. But if it's sticking up a lot, you can always put a little dab in, which I'm going to do here with this one. I think I've got that on my nail. Right, it won't be the last bit, I don't think. Right, so there we are. That's the cover. And next we're going to cover these pieces here with 2 pieces of black card. So I'm going to stick those now. Obviously you measure it. It's going to be a bit smaller than the pieces of cardboard in the cover. Measure it and cut it, and then you're going to stick it. That's the nicest side. Okay. That's one. And this is the next one. And that's that. So now I'm going to leave those to dry, and I'll come back in a few minutes and show you the next bit. Hello, I'm back again, and while it finishes off drying, I'm going to show you how I made one of these concertina pieces. You need a sheet of scrapbook paper. This one's plain on one side. Sometimes they're patterned on both sides, aren't they? You have to measure it out how deep you want it. So by putting that cover onto the paper and drawing a line across there, you see how deep it's going to be. And I've already drawn the line, so now I'm going to cut it out. And now I'm going to draw some lines with a 1-inch ruler all the way up. You don't have to have lines, but it does help to keep it the same width. And so on, all the way up. And now you're going to start folding it up. So you're going to fold from here to the next line. So that one is probably the most important. You will need a bone folder. This is a Paper Mania one, Douglas. Make sure you have a really nice sharp edge. And when you've done the first one, turn it over. And then using the first line, go along and make a second one. Then turn it over again. This time follow that line. Turn it over again. And so on. It's quite fun to do, especially if the cardboard you're using isn't too thick. And you will end up with something that looks like this. Hopefully. Now you're going to attach the concertina to the inside of your folder like so, so that it fits neatly onto here. So I'm going to put the glue all the way down this edge. And then carefully position it where you want it to go. Press it down and then wait for it to dry. And the next edge is going to be this edge, and that's going to be on this side, like so. Now, at this point, I think I need a peg. Or a paper clip. That will hold that steady while I turn that over like so. And now very carefully turn it round and stick it down. Press it down. Luckily this glue does dry very quickly, so you don't have to wait too long. And so there's your concertina. And now we're going to do the fun bit, which is sticking the envelopes on. I've got some little envelopes here. I made these myself, but you can equally well buy them. These I've put some stamps on. I didn't have enough stamps from Paris, so I've compromised. But depending on how particular you are, you can make it perfect or not so perfect, like me. And now you're going to go along and put the envelopes on, as many as you want really. So just a little bit of glue on the envelope, and then start sticking them on. Like so, and then along here. There's room for 2. Oops, wrong way around. So I've just made a few, so I'll stick those on and then I'll come back and show you what to do next. So when you've stuck the envelopes in, you should end up with something like this, and the envelopes will all be sticking up nicely. I haven't filled it completely this time, but as you can see, they're all standing up nicely and they're ready for their tags. I've made some tags, again with the black card, and I've printed out some pictures from Paris. That's the Eiffel Tower looking up, that's the Eiffel Tower, Mona Lisa, and on the Seine. And so all I need to do now is put the tags in the envelopes. Make sure that you do so round the pictures, because that way they won't keep catching on the sides of the envelopes, which you'll see in a moment. In order to position them, I usually stick them down with something like this, which has sticky tape inside it. It's not a corrector. When I first saw them I thought they were something like Tipex that corrected, but no, this is sticky. So if you just put a little bit on the back, stick the picture on the tag, and then sew around it, you should be good to go. So I can put the tags now in the envelopes. If you make your own tags, you can make them exactly the right size for the envelopes. So if you're going to buy the envelopes, if you buy them first, then make the tags, you'll get them the right size. If you make them yourself, then obviously you can do them just exactly how you want them. That one's a bit big. So here you want a little bit shaved off the side. I wonder how that happened. You can spend as long as you like decorating the tags, but remember always that you've got to put them in the envelopes, so you don't want too much down the bottom there. And one more, which I haven't finished, just to show you. I've stuck it down, but I haven't sewn round it, and that will go in there. See, if you don't stitch round it, that's what happens. And to make sure that you have the same cut either side, use a card which you've cut the sides from. These two sides are not the same unless you measure them, and you can do like so. and then to make sure that you've done it right, you turn it over, so that way you get two exact copies. And then you put your little hole in there. I use this twine, but you can use something more fancy. And then when I've stitched that round, that will go in there. And there's your tag book. And obviously you can have more folds and more envelopes. You can experiment, and I think they would make very, very nice Christmas presents for your friends and family. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.